so I'm gonna make a quick little video real quick. I said it in my previous video, I'm not really big on bass fishing. That's just, I did it so I could make some videos. But what I really like to do, I like to pan fish. That's my biggest thing. And I honestly haven't had a really good opportunity to do the pan fish because, you know, I haven't really had a chance to really bring out my boat. And when I did, I didn't really have much battery to go with. So I did that one video with that monster crappie. That's the biggest crappie I've ever caught in my life. It was 15 inches long. Actually, when I got it up on shore and everything like that. But anyway, I know a lot about the pan fishing stuff. I know how to, you know, I know the colors and stuff like that. Most people think, you know, crappie's just pink and stuff like that. That's not necessarily always the case. You know, chartreuse and black and stuff like that. But we're going to talk a little bit about crappie fishing. You know, crappies, if you look at their body, they're made to feed up, okay? They're not going to feed down. They're either going to want it right in front of their face or they're going to want it right above them, okay? That's one thing to remember when you crappie fish. You know, we'll talk about the bluegill too, since I love to catch bluegill too. Big old bluegill size of your hand. They spawn from about May to August, okay? May to August. And during that time, you can catch a stringer full of big bull bluegills. And they taste really good in a frying pan. So, to tell the difference between a male bluegill and a female bluegill, one, the male is going to be a little bit bigger. They're going to be darker, have some purples and, you know, maybe some dark greens in there, brown. The bluegill, which gives them the name, you know, bluegill, that little speck is going to be, you know, let's say it's the size of your fingernail, okay? It's going to be bigger than a female. A female is going to be really small, and a female is going to be lighter in color, okay? So, the panfish, you know, a lot of people think, you know, when I tell them all the time, I'd much rather catch a big old bluegill, big old crappie than I would a 10-pound bass. They kind of roll their eyes at me. It's like, you know, if you get out there on an ultralight rod, start throwing some beetle spins, start throwing some jigs and stuff like that, it is really cool. Or if you want a drop shot, you know, use like a Kentucky rig or something like that for crappies. It is just a ball, just a ball. You know, a crappie, they're gonna spawn when the water temperature is anywhere from 55 to 65 degrees, you know, coming from where I live at, okay? They're gonna spawn March, April or so. They're gonna be moving up in this shallow water, start spawning, and then when they come back out after they get done spawning, they're actually getting harder to catch. They probably won't chase bait most of the time. The only way they'll bite it is actually if it's right in front of their face. So that's one thing to keep in mind when crappie fishing after the spawn is done is, you know, they're tired, you know, they're ready to kind of chill out. So they won't really eat nothing from my experience unless it's right there in front of their face, okay? Some, you know, cool tips about crappie fishing. I don't have one on me to really show you. It's a Kentucky rig, you know, you can call it Kentucky rig, but always have your minnow above your jig. Reason being is when that minnow's moving around, it's gonna make that jig move too. So most of the time, if you have it that way, you'll have just as many bites on your jig as you do your minnow, if you have it hooked up right. You know, when you find schools of them, you know, you want to find the bait fish first. Find the bait fish. If you can find the bait fish, you'll find crappies, bass, catfish, you know, whatever's feeding on those bait fish. Find the bait fish first. If you can find the bait fish, then you'll find the crappies. You can find the crappies. They're going to be in schools. There's going to be a bunch of them. And once you own, you own. I mean, it's just non-stop, it seems like. One thing to know, though, and this is kind of obvious, if it stops biting, the crappie stop biting something, don't keep throwing it. Throw something different, okay? And always, always, always follow that school. Follow that school on your trolling motor. You know, turn your trolling motor down. You know, it may not get you to the spot as quick if you're just fishing with the trolling motor, just like I do. I fish just with the trolling motor. Turn it down. You know, you don't have to be on full blast. It's going to take longer to get there to your spot, but it, you know, it's not going to make nowhere near as much, you know, noise or anything like that. So that's one thing to keep in mind, okay? So let's get back onto the bluegill. Bluegill, crickets, beetle spins, small little crankbaits. That is the way to go. All right, that's the way to go. Crickets probably number one. You know, they're just going to eat it, whether it be a 1/16 out jig head, or you just using just a tiny little J hook, a little split shot, and a float. You know, that's good ways to do it. You know, crappies, they like pink. You know, we've all heard pink, and like I said at the beginning of the video, that's not always necessarily the case. I'd rather use live bait for both the bluegill and the crappie, because you're gonna catch, most of the time you're gonna catch more. It might seem, you know, childish to some, you know, not challenging, but you know, to find the fish and really know what they like eating and stuff like that, knowing the colors and knowing, you know, the difference between a male bluegill and a female bluegill. You know, a black crappie is what I usually catch. They're gonna have 7 to 8 spines on the top, okay? They're gonna have like black checkers on there and white checkers. You know, print is what it's gonna look like. It's really good eating. A crappie, one thing about a crappie, you don't have to really set the hook with the crappie like you do a bass. Like you see some bass fishermen, it seems like they're about to break the rod. Just, all you gotta do is just lift up. They have a paper mouth, paper thin. If you set the hook too hard, it's gonna rip the hook out of its mouth. And you know, in some places, I've heard them called paper mouths. I've heard them called crappies. Heard them called a strawberry bass. You know, those are my favorite fish to catch, is panfish. You know, you can also throw a perch in there as being a panfish, but my two main panfish and what most people think of is a crappie and bluegill. They're just really good fish. You know, they're really good fish to fish like a bass. You know, I like the bass fishing part, but you know, it's just, if you go on YouTube right now, you're gonna find a lot more bass videos than you are, you know, big bluegills or big crappies or something like that. You're gonna find a lot more of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, I like to do your fish for things just a tad bit different. Okay, so I hope y'all learned something from it. You know, how to tell the difference between a male bluegill and a female bluegill, or you know, when they spawn and stuff like that. You know, what colors to throw, what they like to eat. The reason why I'm switching over from bass to panfish is, one, because I enjoy panfishing a lot more, and I figured that I would have a lot more views if I just did bass and kind of bite my tongue with it. But honestly, the most views that I've had as far as my fishing stuff goes is that big old 15-inch crappie that I caught on a 5-inch swim bait, you know, fishing for bass. I caught a little, you know, a couple little squeaks off of it. But AP Bassin and all them is still the ones that got me into making videos. That will never change. But hopefully y'all learned something. Comment, subscribe. You know, I really want to make some more panfish videos for y'all, and I'd like to make this a daily thing. So start subscribing, start liking, start doing some comments, and always keep your real tree on. Oh, keep your real tree on. That's the only camouflage I'll wear is real tree. My hair is all, you know, whopper jaw here. So hopefully y'all learned something. Subscribe, like I said, like, comment, and I'll catch y'all later.